People have got to do. I share something with you. You ever realize, say, whenever elevation come in your life, meaning growth, development, you get rich, you get some money, whatever, you cannot continue to be a part of the same community that you were born and raised in. You cannot have the same friends, and even your family, them you end up lose. And those that are left behind would normally say, boy, them get rich and switchy. Them go foreign and them change. Them have all kind of negative connotations that they associate with growth and development and leveling up and moving forward. And they don't say it from a place of love and respect. It's always from a bitter place, a place of anger, and they want to bash you and belittle you. You would have some of them saying, watch him now. Remember where him come from, or where him come from. Watch her now. I go and like say she has somebody all of a sudden. I have personal experience with this, and I wouldn't say that me level up or reach nowhere in life. It's just that certain place that I am not there anymore. When you come to God, your life change for the better. The way you think, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, the things that you would take part in. Now, the crowd that you were a part of before won't understand this, and you cannot allow them to pull you back where you're coming from. Hence, separation is a must. Now, I remember as a child, I was living with my aunt, my father's sister, and they had some neighbor. She had some neighbors that loved me, care for me, them check for me, and it was from a place where they knew that I wasn't being cared for well, to say the least. And them 10 feet, they saw me as how the family saw me, the outcast, the black sheep, the one that stands out, don't fit in, the sore thumb. And so they were concerned about me, and would tend to check on me and give me words of encouragement. How are you? How you doing? And tell me positive things. How you're pretty, how you're nice. When you grow up, you're going to be a very nice young lady. I can see it in you. The neighbor used to say this to me all the time. And every now and then I would hear her saying it to my aunt as well. And my aunt would be so quiet and not say anything. Or maybe, like that. But mind you, I never had a doubt in my mind that my aunt loved me. So, I don't know. I was a child. But anyway, many years later, this time I was about 21. So, I grew up. That lady got older. Her kids, some of them were older than me. Some were younger than me. I haven't seen them for more than 10 years. So, we grew out of each other's sight. The older ones would remember me more than I would remember them, facial and everything. And so I went to visit that neighborhood where my aunt lived, and my cousins and I, we were going to the ball ground to watch football match. And so I walked past, because this lady had a lot of children. When I say a lot, I mean like more than 14 or about 14, girls and boys. So there were one daughter that was the same age as me and one that was younger. So I remember those two very well. But the ones that were older than me, I remember their name, but their face, wasn't matching up. Anyway, we were walking and going to the ball ground, and we saw all of them sit down, because me say enough of them. And my cousin say hi, and me say good evening with my little fine voice. Walk by. One of the older sister remarks was, watch you? What a thing when pot cloth turn, no, where you call it? Pot cloth turn tablecloth? When dish towel turn tablecloth. That's what she said, referring to me. So my cousin said to her, why you said that? She said, but look past she too. I pass people and not even say howdy. And I go on like she better than people. Remember, I said good evening as well, just like my cousins. But I didn't like individualize them because, as I say, the older ones I don't remember them name or them face that much. You know, it's only the ones where me and them are the same age when me would remember them and their name. And my cousin said, but she did say good evening. Oh, me never hear. Yes. And so I bring up that story just to add to what I am saying. Life change, you grow up, we all grow up. And people grow out of people's sight and vision, as them say, out of sight, out of mind. You are living a different life. You will not be in the same place forever. But people expect you to be there forever. They don't want you to grow. And they're not happy for you. And you can hear it and see it in the insults and how they greet you. Now, as I am reading, I am here in Genesis chapter 13, where Abraham's returned to Bethel. And remember, God told him to leave, and he's going to show him a land that he's going to give to him and his wife Sarah. And so Lot went with him. And so they got so wealthy to the point where they could not coexist in the same environment anymore. Remember, these are, Abraham is the uncle. Lot's supposed to call Abraham uncle because it's Abraham's brother's son. And, you know, Lot's father died early. And so Abraham's father had to raise Lot with him. So, you know, they're like brothers. They go everywhere together and they love each other dearly. But when wealth increased, it separated them. Yes, it separated them physically to the point where they were having issues with each other every day because they cannot coexist in the same environment, because my animal I give your animal trouble, and then this brings vexation of spirit. And you can attest to that in your everyday life, to see where you might have a piece of property and you plant vegetable and corn over there, and your cousin next door have goat and cow, and every day them break down the fence and come over there, come eat off your animal. This would aggravate you, not you want to start to quarrel. Now, we may not be able to move because maybe a family property will pass down to us and we share it. But in the Bible here, it is showing you that they had to be separated because of the amount of wealth increase that they had, and it started a rift between them. And so as I was reading this, the Holy Spirit bring back to my memory. First it says, see how when wealth increases, it separates you from those whom you love and who loves you. And the separation is not always in a good way. It's after a certain level of vexation or irritation. And not only that, after the separation, some people go on to be bitter towards you. And a lot of time, this is why we don't get wealthy. This is why we don't level up in life, because we don't want people to say that we have changed. And on the other hand, it might come to a certain degree where we do change, you know, and it brings a deep like wedge between you and these people, where you and them are come from far. They cannot be happy for you, and you may say, well, I am not going back to that level, and then you say you don't remember where you're coming from. Now you're going on like say you never did hungry and naked like them. They are missing the concept. That's not what it is. I have grown mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. It's not about the finances. You too need to grow. And so when both of you grow, you can coexist, you know. The problem is when one person grow. So one person may be increased in wealth and finances, and the other one increase in spiritual enlightenment and grow on a wider level. So one will have love and one will have greed and hate, and that's the